Joe Bonamassa.
Feel the energy of the state of hockey. Minnesota Wild hockey is back at Grand Casino Arena. Don't miss the speed, the hits, and the roar of the crowd. Get your tickets now at wild.com/tickets.
12:13-14 pastime comedies tend to be the legendary Mark Rosen joins us now. And,
good afternoon.
You know, you have been, good afternoon to you. Going all the way back to that famous picture of you at Memorial Stadium with Bernie Bierman. That everybody... Yeah, don't you have some famous photograph with you and Bernie Bierman when you were 11 years old at the Rose Bowl?
Bierman, no.
Oh.
And that was Murray Warmath who was at the
Maybe it was
Rose
Murray
Bowl.
Warm. Maybe it was Murray Warm.
No.
Was it Knut Rockne?
No, I interviewed Murray a few times when he was with the Vikings organization, but never...
Bronco Nagurski. That's who was that picture of you.
No, I didn't. I told you my Bronco story. What a thrill, because I was on my way to the Super Bowl, 84, and he was the honorary captain, and I was sitting way back in coach, of course, and this young man. Yeah, I know. Well, I was just a peon.
Yeah, but still, how times have changed.
Well, CCO wasn't going to put anybody in first class.
From coach to first class, the legendary one.
But adult man came up to me. He goes, "Would you like to meet my father?" And I went, "Who's your dad?" He goes, "Bronco Nagurski." I went, well, where is he? He goes, "He's sitting 8 rows in front of you." I went, "What?" I said, "Are you kidding me? Of course I would." So I went up and...
You're in awe.
I was in awe.
He's Bronco.
And I shook his hand, and my hand just disappeared. You know, he worked, as you know, he worked in gas stations. He did all this.
I didn't know that.
At International Falls. I mean, for people who are listening, you can Google Bronco Nagurski, but...
was his real name Bronco, do you know?
I don't know. And it was Bronco.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if that was a nickname or if his name really was Bronco.
It fit his physical stature and his aura about him, and he could not have been nicer.
His real name is Bronislaw.
Oh, really?
Bronislau. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know when he immigrated here and his family immigrated International Falls, but he turned out to be one of the greatest football players of all time. And so I had a chance to shake his hand, and it was one of those iron grips that he had, and he was an older man.
Jimmy Bucket's out for the year. Torn.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Torn ACL.
That sucks. Yeah. It does.
So Bronco, so you met him.
I did meet him. And that was before we didn't have cell phones. I was going to take a selfie. I mean, it's not just I got a chance to meet him and say hello to him. And then he was the captain at the Super Bowl, I believe. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. That was very cool. That was a top 10.
You've been a long time Gopher fan. Does last night's result with Indiana literally... This isn't an exaggeration. I think of the major college football teams, they've had the worst one-loss percentage of every single team, right? They've been a terrible football. I think they might be the worst.
Right.
They win a natty last night. They're 16. Does that give you hope as a Gopher fan that, yes.
Well, it should.
Yes, you too.
I think it should give every college like Indiana some hope. If they can put the pieces together, get the right coach, and obviously... You know, they had a veteran. When I say a veteran team, a lot of those guys were older than J.J. McCarthy. They're 22, 23, 24. I mean, they brought a lot of those guys over from his previous school. And Cignetti, great coach, obviously. And the circumstances were just perfectly aligned, and they well-deserved champions. And, yeah, it gives you hope because I think the last time, I remember the Gophers in Indiana, I think, shared the Big Ten title in 1967. And Indiana got to go to the Rose Bowl, I believe.
Because we had been there most recently.
Right. And that was 61, 62, whatever it was. So Indiana got to go, and that was their last time. But basically having any success in the game. And, you know, we were so used to watching, and I covered a number of those teams, obviously, with Bobby Knight and Indiana. It's always been a basketball school.
Sure.
The basketball state with Larry Bird and Hoosiers and, you know, the whole 9 yards. Football is an afterthought. And now
Caitlin Clark,
exactly.
Every time I see the color yellow, I think of Caitlin Clark. No, or is it every time I see Caitlin Clark, I think the color yellow? Which one is it?
Who said that?
Every time she sees the color yellow, she thinks of Clayton Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Who said that?
Parker Fox.
Oh, Parker did. Okay. All right.
I guess he'll be in the preposterous.
He's got multiple potential nominees.
By the way, programming note, is that set in stone then, Teneby? Are we going to do the selection?
We can just
show?
say it.
Let's go.
If it changes, it changes.
February 11th will be the PST.
Unveiling?
Which one is it? Which number are we at?
It's PST VVVIII.
Aye, Captain.
3 V's, 3 I's.
Yep. We're finally there. 18 years of it. The nonstop nonsense time flew in Skulldugger. We'll have that. So anyway.
Yeah, it was,
highly entertaining.
Turned out that way.
Yeah, it might not be the greatest game in college football history, but really good. Second half was a lot of high drama. Block punt, Indiana goes up. Looks like that might start the avalanche, and then Miami hangs tough. They come back twice, make it 17-10. And here's what I talked about, and I want to get your thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
So they're up 3, Indiana.
Right.
They're deep in Miami territory, and they've got like a 4th and 12, whatever it was. They could get a first down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't like it was goal to go. They could get a first down like at the 4, I think the 3, wherever it was. Signetti, coach of Indiana, he sends his field goal unit on the team, and before they set up in the formation, he calls a timeout.
Yep. Goes
on the field, changes his mind and says, "Let's go for the tutty." And then the Heisman Trophy winner does it's almost like it's like one of those movie scripts. The Heisman Trophy winner on a quarterback draw. He twists, he turns, he churns, he goes in different directions, takes a couple of hits, and lunges into the end zone. They score the tutty, they get the extra point, they're up 10. However, Miami marches down the field, they get a touchdown, now it's back to a 3-point game. So now Indiana gets back down into Miami territory, and they have a 2nd and 1. And they're about to, if they get the first down, it's game, set, match, right? I think I have this in the right order, I think. So then what happened was the left tackle flinched.
Correct.
He had a muscle spasm.
One of the few.
I mean, it was a muscle spasm. He barely moved, but technically it's a penalty. They throw the flag. Now they've got, instead of 2nd and 1 ready to win the game, it's 2nd and 6. The head coach, Signetti, has them run the ball 2 more times and settle for a field goal. And I thought to myself at the time, and it worked out.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to argue with the strategy. But I'm thinking to myself, well, you took a chance before.
Why would you do it again?
Especially when you have the best player in college football, because by definition, that is the Heisman Trophy winner. Mm-hmm. I thought it was almost like he got a little too conservative and kind of said, "Oh, I don't think I want to try that."
Why give Miami a chance to come back and win the game? It could be a fluke play. It could be anything.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, because you tell the QB, you say, "Look, I want you to throw it twice.
Yeah.
Do not take a sack." Now, you could still get sacked. I mean, there could be disaster. Do not take a sack and do not throw an interception. And then if you throw for the first down, you win the game.
Game's over.
But it worked out and they won anyway. And they go 16-0.
Yeah, it's and that's the fun part about the cat and mouse game that you play. And like you said, for him to abstain from going for the field goal earlier and let Mendoza do his thing, and yeah, he did. It was a great call. I mean, a great call because it worked. But he did this old John Elway thing, almost like pirouetting into the end zone to get the touchdown, and he took a beating. I mean, early in the game, they were showing some of the plays that, the option when some of the speculation was it could have been targeting on Miami. The guy looked like it was helmet to helmet hit on his option that he, gave the ball away, and he took the game plan for Miami was go get him, rough him up a little bit, and see if we can break his spirit a little bit. Just didn't quite work out that way. And that offensive line for Indiana, I mean, can we just take the whole line and put it on the Vikings? I mean, they got some brutes up there. The center, they showed a couple replays where, I mean, it was a classic. If you're going to look at game film of how an offensive line works in sync, those guys have played together for a while. It was a thing of beauty to watch the holes they were opening up and the discipline they play with. And it's old fashioned football. They have good receivers. They got they had a quarterback that knows what he's doing. Whether or not they can sustain it, obviously, Indiana had a terrific year last year that fell short, but I think if nothing else, it's going to give a lot, as you mentioned, Common, whether it's the Gophers or other teams, some hope that they too maybe can have their turn now and not just, have the usual suspects dominate, the college football playoffs, and they can get other names in there. So it was very refreshing to watch.
2:00, every weekday afternoon Central Time, ESPN does their NBA Today show. And right now they're saying, how can Warriors improve the roster before February 5 trade deadline? Also, coming on the heels that Kuminga's demanded a trade.
Right.
And Butler's out for the year. They're not going to make a trade. They can improve the roster. They're not going to go anywhere anyways. I mean, when you're in the stacked West, when you've got the Wolves, the Nuggets, the Thunder, and San Antonio, there's no, even with Jimmy Buckets and Kuminga, they were going to have a tough time making it, getting out of the Western Conference playoffs and getting to the NBA Finals. They're certainly not going to now. It's not even worth talking about, is it? They're in
8th place right now, and they're probably they're pretty comfortable in looking at the play-in game.
But they're not going anywhere because you can't without Jimmy Butler and without Kaminga. It's just, I'm sorry, the other two teams,
they're 25-19, and they're they're very good at home, but they're not a team that, as you mentioned, is going to challenge the cream of the crop in the West. And you just mentioned their names.
Back to Indiana. I don't know this, and I don't know if you do. I try to look, and AI doesn't have every answer, but how much, because I know that Mark Cuban donates to Indiana, how much of this team was just bought lock, stock, and barrel or not? Somebody just texted me and said, Indiana doesn't have any 5-star players. It's not like they went, don't. Okay. So then I wonder, how many of the players they have that would be going somewhere else, but because Indiana had the money, they bought? Because that is something you do need to factor in. It used to be back in the olden days. Mm-hmm. Well, let's face it, there were teams that pay guys under the table. But for the most part, it was you'd build up your program, get a reputation, and then people wanted to play there. I don't think that's necessarily it.
Well, and I think people will study the formula that they use. And we saw Mark Cuban there last night, and I don't think he opened his bank account to the point of saying, here's just millions and millions of dollars.
No, I thought I read it was $5 or $6 million, which is still a lot of money, but it's not like he said $100 million, knock yourself out.
Well, no, and they developed the program. There were a lot of, even listening to Mendoza talk about the fact that he was emotional about it. That people really weren't paying attention to him early in his collegiate career. And I don't think he's the most gifted quarterback we've ever seen, but he's got great football instincts and smarts and everything about them. They play with such precision and for each other. And it's an old cliche, but he brought up a bunch of his players from his last school, and that offensive line is second to none. Their defense was terrific, but I don't think they were looked at their payroll that it might be as high as the Twins' payroll, but I don't think it's anything compared to some of the other schools, including the team they played last night in Miami.
I think Mendoza said after the game he would be willing to die for his teammates. Would you be willing to die for Teneby and me?
No.
Okay. Teneby, how about you? Would you be willing to die?
You've got to be kidding me.
For me and Rosen?
No chance.
That makes 3 of us. We'll take a break.
It's unanimous.
We'll come back with a little this, that, lat right here on The Fan. Oh, you got a keyword too, I think, don't you?
Yeah, The Fan wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword credit at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. The keyword is credit. Enter now at KFAN.com. KFAN welcomes some great shows to Mystic Lake Amphitheater. Leonard Skinnerd.
Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you.
And Foreigner.
Our house is a very, very, very fine house.
We'll be there August 16th and Motley Crue.
That's not the way it feels.
We'll be there August 21st. Get the complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Rocket Man, I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Couple 13-14 passed on comedies, Teneby. He's the legendary one, Mark Rosen. This from a tweet from Mike Garofalo. Charges will not be filed against #Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison, according to his agent at Younger Associates. Addison was assisted by attorney Brian Packett. Younger tells me Addison now will prepare for the filing of a civil claim arising from the alleged wrongfully arrest. Film at 11. Right. What can you tell me?
Well, I don't. I mean, it sort of speaks for itself in terms of a legal situation that Jordan has avoided. It doesn't mean that internally that Kwesi, KOC, and I'm sure that I probably had that discussion by phone already. Under the heading of, you can't just keep putting yourself in these positions. I mean, if you're asked to be leaving a casino at 3:45 in the morning a couple different times, maybe under the law, obviously, there was no charges filed. There wasn't technically trespassing, but I think the judgment issue is one that the Vikings can address and will address if they haven't already. I don't necessarily think it means the end of his run here with the Vikings, but knowing how I think the Vikings feel in general about him, but One of our old friends used to say, you got to protect your career. And I think, unfortunately, it's 3 times now that he's made some bad decisions, bad judgment decisions. And so that, you take that into consideration as they move forward with the young man who's got a lot of money on the table.
What are your sources telling you? Anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Because you're plugged in.
No, I don't know about that.
Oh, you're plugged in.
Winter Park?
Yeah. Well, the new Winter Park.
Yeah.
Here's Adam Schefter. Steelers are interviewing Vikings DC Brian Flores today for their head coaching job, and former Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy on Wednesday. Minnesota's been pushing to bring back Flores, and if he doesn't land a head coaching job, would have a good chance of retaining him. You've said that all along. I'm not so certain, but then my sources aren't as good as yours or Adam Schefter's. Do you think, what are the chances of Flores getting head coach? He still has that lawsuit.
He was with the Pittsburgh, he was with the Steeler organization at one point. I mean, it seems like he would be if you look at the history, I'm not just saying because Mike Tomlin was there and he was a defensive coach as well and a former Viking assistant coach. Mm-hmm. Flores does seem to fit the MO what the Steelers like in a coach, and it's a defense first mentality. And I think he obviously would be very impressive in terms of what he says. I don't know about the lawsuit situation anymore. I don't know. I'm sure his agent handles a lot of that conversation, and the Steelers don't have to be in fear of that. I mean, I really do hope Brian gets the chance. He deserves it. I mean, I think he has earned it again with all the other coaches. I just was reading the NFC North is the only division in the NFL that's not going to have a coaching change. When you look at it from the 4 teams, that's unusual given how the vacancies they've had. They have, but I still believe Brian will come back here if indeed it doesn't work out with the Steelers. But now with the vacancies that are there and the coaches that are out and available, and what happened with the Buffalo situation? I mean,
what if the new coach in Baltimore, for instance, wants a new defensive coordinator and contacts Flores?
Sure, it's possible.
You got Lamar Jackson as the quarterback. That offense is in good hands.
In theory, yeah. It hasn't been. I mean, he's been hurt a lot lately too, and it hasn't been producing the way that I think that the Ravens.
Hasn't?
Not really. I mean, I don't think he's. I'm not saying he's past his prime. I'd take Lamar Jackson
not producing like.
Well, when he came back from his injury this season, he had a stretch there where, he did not look like the old Lamar Jackson. No. Now, I'm not ready to rule him out.
No, I'm not.
For next season.
Okay.
And the Ravens don't have, I mean, I think we get caught up sometimes in the name and the uniform and the history. But there's
also going to be a rumor mill around him this offseason. I'm not sure it's a slam dunk he's coming back to Baltimore.
Yeah, I may not. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. I mean, the quarterback said potentially would be out there, but yeah, I'd take my chances with him. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think he feels pretty at home here, and from a competitive salary standpoint, the Vikings would make it very worth his while to come back. So doesn't get the head coaching job. I would fully expect him to be back in Minnesota. Now there's guy Durante Jones could end up with a defensive coordinator job. I hope he gets it. He's just a wonderful human being, great coach, and a guy that's really on the upswing. I know he's not a household name, but I got to know him pretty well, and his wife, and worked with Durante in a couple things. And man, I think he's on the fast track. So I hope he does land it. I mean, Vikings would be their loss. He's a defensive backfield coach right now, but he's in line for promotion, and he's one of those young guys that's getting noticed. And so I hope he does get a boost with that if it works out for him.
Are you one of those observers that say, Caleb looks nice, but the Bears are in for a rude awakening next year with a first-place schedule, and all those come-from-behind victories, they're going to plummet back to last place?
Oh, I don't know about last place, but I mean, they're going to have, and the smart thing, you've talked about it, Common, how many times? They go, we're going to carry this momentum over into next year. There is no such thing in the NFL.
I don't believe there is.
And the players acknowledge that. And the Bears have a whole bunch of free agents. As you mentioned, they have a free agent. They have a first place schedule. Their schedule will be a lot tougher next year. But again, that's on paper. It doesn't matter that much. But they're a very good team, and that the NFC North is still going to be loaded. It's still going to be topsy turvy and changes all over the place. The Vikings are going to go through a lot of that once we get into the month of March. Caleb's an interesting guy. I mean, he doesn't have I mean, I guess I was listening this morning. He said his completion percentage is one of the lowest in the NFL. I mean, when it comes to, and I heard some of the other, the quarterbacks who are on the networks talking about, he's always looking for me on. Obviously, we saw the magnificent play that he threw the ball up in the air and got the tying touchdown.
He's had a few of those this year.
Yeah, but he sometimes doesn't. He's kind of going for the big shot and turning down the 8-yard pass that would keep moving the sticks. And
well, he's young.
Yeah, he is. He's really promising, and I still think
McCarthy,
that
he's young.
Man, I don't know. If I'm Ben Johnson, I'd still try to run him a little bit more. He is so tough to bring down.
Gotta be careful, though. They thought that about RG3, too.
Well, I understand that.
Ground his knee into sawdust.
Yeah, I think they are, but usually it's really difficult to get a clean shot on him. Although, a year ago, he got sacked more than any other quarterback in the NFL, I think.
Bad offensive line. He didn't have a coach that knew what he was doing.
I think
he's the best. I think he is.
You love him.
He's the best player in pro football.
Well, he's not right now.
I think he is.
He's the best player in pro football.
He would. If I could take one player on my team, if you said, Common, we're giving you a expansion franchise, you can select one player, I would select Caleb Williams, number
over
1.
Drake May?
Absolutely.
Oh. Oh
my gosh.
No.
Above average at that.
No. I think a couple other quarterbacks. And I think he's got a lot of promise. He's still
Who
young.
else would you take? I mean, I know Mahomes, but Mahomes is 10 years into his career, too. Caleb's 2 years.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I'm not going...
Young quarterback, so you take May.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You would take May for sure.
I would...
McCarthy?
No.
Bo Nix?
Jaden Daniels, if a healthy Jaden Daniels,
really?
Maybe.
How about you, Tenna?
What are my choices?
Young players?
Caleb, Jalen, or Drake May.
You're just talking about young players.
Jaden. What'd I say? Jalen?
Yeah, Jaden.
That's tough.
It is.
It's hard. I mean,
hard to project.
The way Caleb's had the magic, it's hard not to go after Caleb. If it's hard not to include also everything that's around him.
Mm-hmm.
With Caleb having Ben Johnson, with Caleb having 2 good young wide receivers in Adunze and Burden and a good tight end, a young tight end and Colson Loveland. Yeah. That situation, I have to imagine Chicago offensively should be pretty set here for the next couple of seasons. And it's hard to believe. If you're a teammate of Caleb Williams after this year, how can you not be like a believer in him? Like you think, hey, when the chips are down, we're still going to be
fourth quarter.
Yeah, bring it to the ticket.
Yeah.
Like we're never out of a game.
First 3 quarters, you bring it to Adunze. You let Adunze and what's his name, Monogamy?
Monogamy, yeah.
What's the running back's names? We let them do their things for 3 quarters. Monongai. Come fourth quarter, bring it to Caleb Williams.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, look, and this puts the focus squarely on the Vikings, as we know, and it's going to be a continuing discussion with what we're watching right now in the postseason. And if you don't have a settled quarterback situation, and Denver's facing the toughest obstacle of all, losing Bo Nix, unfortunately, and they got a young quarterback who's maybe got a lot of promise, but he's going to be thrown to the fire pit on Sunday against a very good New England team.
A number of people continue to send texts about the Addison situation. I will say this about Addison. Here's what his biggest problem is. Doesn't have a fall guy. Right? He's got a fall guy. He doesn't get in any trouble.
He needs an Uber is what he needs.
We'll just have a fall guy. So Chris Carter's his recommendation.
Remember Chris Carter.
We'll break. We'll come back. We got one more segment to go with Mark Rosen, Common Man and Tennessee, right here on The Fan.
Oh, boy.
Spent an evening with Jeff Foxworthy, known for his signature "You Might Be a Redneck" jokes. Don't miss out when the Grammy-nominated legend takes the stage at the Treasure Island Event Center on March 14th. Secure your tickets today at TICasino.com for a night of laughs.
Earlier in the show, Tennessee, I think you read a vibe that says the Fan is looking for radio sales executives. Now, that seems a bit odd to me. Why don't we just go down to the Humane Society and adopt some canines? Because a dog with a note in its mouth can sell the Fan. Why would we go to all the trouble?
No sense in doing that.
Seems cheaper.
Well, yeah. All you have to do is get a little kennel ration.
of the greatest quotes ever from a manager.
I mean, I just can't even imagine why we would do that. But that's
back in that office of his back there.
That was before we had these ratings too.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, we're the most powerful radio station in the country, which I'm very proud to be a part of. We carried on our back noon to 3 each and every day. Bills lose in overtime to Denver. Bears lose to
the Rams.
The Rams in overtime. What were the other two games? I can't even keep track.
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Seattle destroyed San Francisco.
New England, Houston.
And then New England defeated Houston. Stroud struggled, and the defense wasn't able to hold it. Of course, Nix is out now with a broken ankle. Let's talk about that Buffalo-Denver game. What did you think? I know the rule's the rule, I guess, on the catch, but to me, just if I'm watching that and you said, who should be awarded the ball here? I'd have said, well, the guy from Buffalo, he had the ball in his hands and his knee hit the ground, but apparently the continuation of the catch or whatever.
You have to maintain control through the ground. But I'm with you. I'm sitting like many of us watching the game on my couch, and you see Josh Allen, airball that thing, and I'm going right before the even caught it. I went, he's got it. He's got it. I mean, I'm really loud, and then he comes. You see him catch the ball. He rolls over, and next thing you know, the Denver defensive back has it, and they point the other direction. And honestly, I thought they're going to review this and give possession back to Buffalo.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And that was their bone of contention. They didn't spend a lot of time replay official. I don't know if it would have changed or not. Now, Kevin Seifert, who's an aficionado when it comes to, I think, the rules in the NFL, etc. He's not the only one, but Kevin is pretty on top of it. Said that it was the correct call, that you have to maintain possession through the. Yes. We've seen it a bunch of times in the NFL.
And the coach was annoyed that they didn't slow it down. But what I would say to him, they did review it. It's like they looked in New York right away. New York said absolutely slam dunk.
Yeah.
So it's not as though they didn't review the play. They did. No, they just did. On that. I don't even know what they have the name of that rule now, where the expedited, whatever it is, where they just they quickly look at it. The assistants from New York. So
we've seen plays similar to that, and it's got to be extra painful for Bills fans because this is their opportunity potentially, and now especially with Nix out. It's not like a slam dunk to get to the big game, but that for Josh Allen to be in that position. And I'd have to deal with Burrow or Mahomes or who else am I missing? Lamar Jackson. That you kind of have the quarterback feel to yourself, and you haven't. And he hadn't played well. He had three other picks. I mean, he threw some bad footballs on Sunday, and it was painful. I mean, we can feel the angst of the Bills fans. The Vikings have been there too many times, but this one in particular, I think, when you have a chance. To close the door on that team, and it catches the ball. Of course, they kick a field goal, and it's over. And then everything changed. But I mean, the rule's the rule, and I don't know. I can't argue with it. It doesn't pass the eye test to me. I still think that
But that's the rule. What do you think about the Houston game against
New England?
New England. I mean,
I was really disappointed.
The Stroud kid just.
Oh man,
that's 2 years in a row where he had a great rookie year, and the last couple of years haven't been as good. He had back-to-back
really
lemons
stinkers
in the.
Playoffs. That's the thing is I thought it still was a close game. Houston had a chance, even as bad as Stroud was, to still pull that game out because their defense, as we saw the week before, was phenomenal, and they're playing at a high level. They made life pretty miserable for Drew May for most of the game, but. Stroud did nothing to help his cause, and it's like you said. It has to be concerning for them, for the Texan organization now to look at C.J. Stroud and go, "Oof." I mean,
he's going into that option year, and it's like they almost seem, everything I've read, it's almost they almost have to give it to him because what do? You have to start over. Yeah. They're going to have to give him a deal that pays him about $50 million.
Oh, it's just it's got to be. I mean, it is concerning because they had opportunities to win that football game because of their defense, and Stroud just could not come through. Many times. And you just kind of go, what? We saw J.J. McCarthy throw some really bad passes pretty early in the year. I'm looking at the TV going, what are you doing? I'm I wanted Houston to win.
Sounds like you talk to your TV a lot.
I do talk to my TV a lot. Not a lot, but enough. You can't do it when I'm in the press box, so I do it when I'm at home. And I get pretty excited. Certainly when Caleb threw that pass, like a lot of people, you kind of jumped out of your couch. He's backpedaling 30 yards and air balls, and then the receiver's wide open in the end zone. That one got a lot of people to jump out of their couches. I still wonder, and I know he was asked
I was in a love
this.
seat.
Would you, if you were Ben Johnson, would you have gone for 2 at that point?
Absolutely.
Try to win the football game.
He said
at home.
He said he considered it, but because they'd gone 1-4 on fourth down plays, he did not want to do that. I would have went for it. I tend to be brought up a good point yesterday. It's like after that play, the defense is stunned,
really
kind of standing around looking at each other, and all of a sudden you run out to do the 2-point conversion right away, and you're so pumped up from it that you just tell your team, bulldoze these guys, we're going to run it in. And so, I think I would have went for the win right there.
I mean, I think I would have run a quarterback option. Just keep the ball in Caleb's hands from the 2-yard line. Whatever. He's such a truck
give him that
to
option.
stop.
Yeah, you roll him out. Yeah,
and just take,
run.
Let him potentially. But I think you got a chance to win the football game right then and there at home. Then you take your chances in overtime. But you said, you had all the momentum. This shocking thing where you got to be going. You can't. If you're the Rams, you can't even compute what just happened. Go for it right now. But, it's all second guessing now.
The Rams win. Meanwhile, the other two teams from the West played each other. And the last time they played, second to last game of the regular season? Or was it last game? I don't remember. This time, it's not close. Seattle destroys San Francisco 41-7 or whatever the final was. Let me ask you a question. Are you like a lot of other people in this town that thinks the clock's about to strike midnight for Sammy Darnold because he's really not that good? He's gonna melt down like he did last year against Detroit. And a lot of people say he did that against the Rams. I don't agree. I think a lot of it had to do with pass protection, that you can't trust him, that it's all the defense, it's all the running game, and that Sam's just not the quarterback and he's going to end up falling apart.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be falling. I don't think he's going to fall apart, but he doesn't have to be the hero either. Seattle's got a much better football team right now than the Vikings did a year ago at this time. But, and you just cited some of the reasons why. Their offensive line, their defense is playing at a higher level. They got a running attack.
Well, the Vikings won 14 regular season games.
I understand that, but I'm just saying at the end of the season, I think they were a better team. Now, they just lost Charbonnet, right? He's got an ACL. There's so many ACLs. It's sad that these players have to miss, the biggest games of their life. Darnold had pedestrian numbers, but he didn't have to be great last Sunday, and I think he has to be better against the Rams, and L.A. knows him well. They've played him a number of times. Matthew Stafford is, this might be his swan song. I mean, he may be just going, I'm going to ride out in the sunset.
No.
I do. I think he might if he gets to the big game.
I think he keeps playing.
Well, you might be right, but I just think that...
he enjoys it too much. He's talked about how much he really loves the chess match.
But you're
right.
They're hard to put down. When I talk about the Rams, and I said, they're just hard to kill. They just, and that's why
it seems like in this town there are so many people that just don't like Sam Darnold.
I don't know why.
I don't either.
Because
you would just a couple of weeks ago muttered under your breath, and you said, "Well, they like him now, but just wait." You basically.
Well, that may happen, but I'm again, Darnold's in a position right now, and I know he's got the oblique. I heard, I don't know. Oh, Rich Gannon on with PA. I was driving around this morning, and I think PA asked him about.
Where were you driving around to?
I had errands to run.
Okay, I'm just wondering. I'm just interested in your life. Everybody is. I'm interested in your life. Just wondering, what does a guy like you do when you're running around in the car?
I usually do grocery shopping.
Okay. Well, you practically live at Kowalski's.
What was I doing? I don't know where I was doing. I was running errands. Anyway,
probably going to Bobby and Steve's. Who knows?
No, I did that yesterday. I got my gas. So I always go to Bobby and Steve's.
I know you do.
But Gannon was saying that oblique muscles, oblique injuries like that normally take 2-3 weeks to heal. But I think someone who said he got a shot of the Toradol. I think it's called. It's a painkiller that you get in your ribs that kind of numb things. But Darnold will have a shot. I think the Rams are certainly going to make it a lot more difficult than what we saw last week. To be the quarterback. I mean, this is certainly the biggest test that I think of his career to kind of prove the doubters wrong, to literally take his team to the Super Bowl. And I want Seattle to win. I think it's a much better bigger story. I'd like to see Seattle and New England right now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I'd like to see Seattle, Denver
because of the new quarterback.
I'd like to see Stiddy go.
This is like
love
Earl
those stories.
Morrall playing for Johnny Unitas.
I want him to do.
Tom Maddie. That's what I'm thinking of.
I want him to pull a Case Keenum. I want him to all of a sudden help lead this club.
We know nothing about him. I mean, people are saying nice things about him, but man, to go into that situation and
it's gonna be tough.
Oof, that's a very good New England team. Remember, we were out there watching. I thought about this. We were out during training camp when they had the two-a-days against the Patriots. Watching Vrabel, and then remember the first day McCarthy
I was out because, man, I was on vacation. That was you and 10, I think.
Oh, that's what we were out
Remember when we were just owning the New England Patriots on day 2 of joint practice?
Exactly.
Now they're in the one game away from the big game.
Had the Patriots reeling in his wake on the second day. First day didn't look very good. Second day he looked really good. But, yeah, you're watching.
That's when you were all in.
We were all in.
Let me ask you another question.
Yes, sir.
Will you not rest until Ant's in the All-Star game? How did he get snubbed?
I don't know.
I mean, are you bitter about it?
I'm not bitter about it. I think it's going to inspire him. I think he's going to go, oh, yeah,
do you think
really?
that'll be a chip on his shoulder?
Of course. That doesn't take much for these guys to have a chip on their shoulder. I mean, it's, it's the prestige. It's being one of the guys, and I think Ant's going to take it out on his opponents. You like this Wolves game, I wasn't even paying attention to the game the other night. Honestly, this is coming from me. I forgot they were even playing. I was so locked into football. And my son, I checked the score. They were getting blown out by 18 at San Antonio, right? And I'm going, oh. And then my son texted me, he goes, are you watching this? I went, no. I'm watching football. I looked at my phone, and it was like the Wolves were down by 3. I went, what? So I put it on, and it was showtime. Between Wemby and...
So you clicked over to it at that point.
At that point, I think maybe was it the San Francisco... I don't know what game it was. You watch so much football, your eyes start getting glazed over. But Ant was putting on a show, and Wemby was phenomenal. And, I heard...
Would you trade Ant for Wemby?
And I don't,
Before he said not in a million years.
Yeah, I don't think I'd change my mind. Right. And Wemby's I worry about Wemby's durability. That's the one thing.
No question about
and our guy, I heard Finch talking about your guy, Berenger, today. He's fearless is the word he used. Fearless. And he's had an opportunity, and Gobert's back now. Got to keep playing the kid. Get him some minutes. Don't worry
That's
about
what I'd do.
There's only one basketball, and Naz Reid's probably ready to come back tonight. They're playing a bad Utah team on the road.
I've said it forever. Play all your guys. Play as many as you can, especially in games when you're playing terrible teams, you're playing blowouts either way. Just play guys. Give them some time.
Let's give them some 8 to 10 minutes at least to get them out there. Anyway.
A very good friend of mine sent me this text earlier. We play golf a lot together. He loves the Grum. Really loves the Rosen hour. And he writes, when Rosen says something astonishing, I sit in my office and jot it down.
Is the word astonishing in
and he says,
air quotes?
Look at these two. So this is from 9/14/25. So September 14th of this past fall, you said, quote, I think Cam Ward will be a terrific quarterback down the road. Do you still feel Cam Ward will be a terrific quarterback down the road?
Yes,
okay.
I think he will be. Well, that's not astonishing, is it? That's just a projection, I guess, more than anything.
Well, the way he had been playing at the time.
At that point, it only been like a game.
Yeah.
Game or two. No, 9/14. Yeah. That doesn't sound too preposterous.
How about this one? This is from 2/27/24.
Oh, my God.
Quote, Justin Fields may end up being a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. Quote, Justin Fields may end up being a better quarterback than Caleb Williams.
Dead wrong. Yeah. But that's another Ohio State quarterback that's just like C.J. Stroud. Maybe the Buckeyes can't produce him. I don't know.
I should send that quote to Kevin Warren.
You really should.
Where you're ripping Caleb and thinking that Justin Fields is
we were, Karin and I, we knew that Kevin had called Karin's parents the other day to wish him a happy 90th birthday, and it was very nice of him. And we knew that I said to Karin, "Where's Kevin?" He's in his suite, and we know a lot of the people in the Bears organization.
Have you talked to him since the loss?
No, I did not. I was rooting for the Bears. I wanted them to win. Of course, I wanted to see Chicago win.
Well, Kevin's your.
It's just we know a lot of good people that work for him, and I'm not necessarily from a football standpoint. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wanted Detroit to do well.
Who gets in the Hall of Fame for baseball? Isn't that tonight?
Is it really? I don't know. I don't even know who's on the who's the top leading? I haven't looked at the list.
A-Rod's available.
He's not going to get in. I don't see the date. Maybe they will
tonight at 5 p.m.
Oh, no kidding.
How about Carlos Beltran? You think he's in? How about Bobby Abreu?
Man, doesn't to me.
How about my favorite guy, Mark Burley? Here's the thing. If you remember for all those years that they played against Burley, here was the key. You got to get to Burley early. If you didn't, he was going to win.
Well, Burley was a thorn in the side of the Twins for many years.
How about Edwin Encarnacion?
I don't think so. But it's tough. I mean, the baseball writers, as we know, are pretty fickle about these things.
King Felix Hernandez.
Yeah, he had some damn good years. He was king of the hill in Seattle.
How about Cole Hamels? Think he's done enough to get in?
I'd have to look at his stats. Probably not.
How about your guy, Torrey Hunter?
No.
No?
I love Torrey, but he's not a HOFer.
How about Andy Pettitte?
Oof. Again, a long, successful career. He'd be close. I don't know if he'll make it. Is this his first year on the ballot?
I don't know.
Eighth year.
Andy Pettitte? Oh, my God. Yeah, he's been retired forever. I don't know. If he hasn't made it by now, I don't think he'll get in.
How about Andrew Jones? Pretty good player.
Yeah, well, you're mentioning a lot of good players.
If it wasn't for the steroids, A-Rod would destroy everyone on this list.
Oh, of course.
Like, there's nobody that's even close to him in terms of...
all the guys you've mentioned are really good baseball players, but I don't, it's the writers...
What about Chase Utley?
No.
What about Manny Ramirez? Year 10 for him.
I
feel like he's a lot better than a lot of these players on here.
Yeah, he had a hell of a career. Man. So that's tonight at 5, huh? Okay.
Tonight. Going to be big.
Wild play again tonight, and Wolves play tonight.
Wild.
How about that last night?
Your guy Foligno had a trick. I mean, again, it was an empty netter, but he had a hat trick. They win. They had, as of a week ago, they had won one game in November. Now, tend to be, they won a couple in a row, including an OT.
2 in a row, yeah.
And I see
Buffalo and Toronto.
Interesting, situations. It's unfortunate. Boldy's out not only for a period of time, but he's going to not play in the Olympics. And
Brodin, you mean?
What did I say?
You said Boldy.
Oh, Brodin. You're
Jonas
right.
Brodin.
Sorry. Right. I meant to say Brodin. But you wonder. You keep hearing these horror stories. I was talking to someone about this, about the rink in Milan is not exactly. It's not even ready yet, and with the injury situations and the competitiveness of and the Olympic hockey is going to be sensational. But NHL, GM, we know that Bill Guerin's the guy. How does he feel about Boldy playing? I mean, risking injury when you've got a really great season going, but how much? I mean, it means a lot to these guys to play for USA.
USA.
Yeah. Very competitive.
I think I aired, talking about Jordan Addison having a fall guy. I just don't know if his dog was male or female because the dog, remember, was my dog. He had to rush to the hospital. That's why he was doing 140 because his dog was vomiting or something.
Right.
But I don't know. So he had a fall
doggy.
Fall dog is what he had.
Fall dog.
So there you go.
Well.
And then who do the Wolves play tonight? You said
Utah.
they're playing Utah.
They're not very good. And they're missing.
That's a skip game, right?
The Wolves are pretty much fully healthy. And I think they're missing Markkanen, who's one of their last.
Does Ant even play?
Yeah, he'll play. He'll play, and he'll probably put up 50 tonight.
Why don't you just rest him? Get that foot better. He keeps getting time off for foot.
Is that center we drafted still playing at Utah? That was it.
Oh yeah, remember that?
Was it Walker Kessler?
Yeah,
or something
you
like
were all up in arms.
Yeah, I like him. I still like him.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's still there. He's not. It turned out to be a damn good trade for the Wolves. That's for sure. In retrospect, getting Rudy, really good trade.
Yeah, I guess because he's got him. He's taken us to 2 NBA finals. Oh, that's right. He hasn't gotten out of the Western Conference Finals yet.
It's up to Ant.
No, it's up to Berenger. He's the key to this team, and he will be. We'll see you tomorrow at 2:00.
Yes, sir.
Tenneby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed our visit. Looks like Brett Blakemore in again. It looks like JG out. Big ticket. Brett Blakemore there next. We enjoyed our visit. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 12 noon right here on The Fan.
And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Chicago's a tough guy town.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.